Hello, this is Rose Guider. It's time for Thirsty Thursday. And today we're going to talk about shampooing your hair. We have talked about your cleansing your skin, we using the different soaps and bath gels that Young Living has to offer. And today we're just going to learn about shampooing your hair. You know there is a right and a wrong way to shampooing your hair, and that's what I'm going to discuss with you today. So let's get started. The easy, quick way of saying this is you soak your hair, you put shampoo on it, you rinse your hair, you put conditioner on it, you rinse your hair again. Okay, but we're going to go into some detail with that because it's not just that easy. And if you really want to understand how and why your hair is responding when you are shampooing and conditioning, these tips might help you some. So let's get started. For the average person, you do not need to shampoo your hair every day. 2 to 3 days is usually fine. But if your hair is oily, or if you work out every day, or if your hair is, you have a very dry scalp and you're very itchy, you probably need to wash your hair. So just because I said every 2 to 3 days doesn't mean that's what you do. You have to figure out what's best for your hair and how your hair looks. Daily shampooing, though, does take out some of the healthy ingredients in your hair to some degree. But if it's too oily, it can cause fungus into your hair and leave your scalp itchy and scaly. And if this is the case, then you probably need to shampoo your hair more often. So if you have coarse or kinky hair, you need to amp up your shampoo that has moisturizer in it. Shampoos with glycerin and panthenol and shea butter are really good ingredients to have for your hair if it's kinky or coarse. Now, if your hair is curly or wavy, you also need moisturizing shampoo, but you should look for a shampoo that has some silicone in it. And this gives your curls the moisture that they need to stay bouncy and prevents them from absorbing too much moisture and getting frizzy. Now, if you have fine or thin hair, look for that shampoo that has volume without weighing your hair down. You also want to stick to clear shampoo. So if you can't see through it, you probably shouldn't use it if you have fine or thin hair. If you have thick hair, you want the volume at the roots, but not at the ends. And you also want to make sure your hair has plenty of moisture. So if you have normal hair that's well balanced, well then you're a lucky guy or girl. You get to have any shampoo you want, just so long your hair looks nice and healthy and your scalp feels good. So, but you have to make sure that you don't use the wrong shampoos that will strip your hair. So you need to avoid shampoos that have ammonium lauryl sulfate, sodium lauryl sulfate, and sodium lauryl sulfate. You've seen these SLS abbreviations for shampoo ingredients, and those are harmful chemicals for you, and you should stay away from them. They dry your hair and your scalp out. Shampoos with avocado or nut oils will give your hair more volume and give you a nice moisturizing effect. So that's what you should be looking for. So if your hair is dry, you need to, or if it's damaged anyway from coloring or heat or overuse of hair products, then you should avoid shampoos that have certain alcohols in them. And some of these alcohols will dry out your hair, and so you should avoid them. And they could be a cetyl alcohol or a stearyl alcohol. But if you see something with alcohol behind it, it's going to dry your hair. So just be aware of that. Oily hair can actually result from your body compensated from a dry scalp. So your scalp is trying to produce that moisture to put the moisture back in your scalp and it ends up in your hair. So you need to, best way to treat a dry scalp is with tea tree oil. So you can take some tea tree oil and a little bit of a carrier oil and then massage it into your scalp sometime before you shampoo to try to condition that scalp. Or you can add some tea tree oil to your favorite shampoo, because as far as I can tell, I have not found a shampoo from Young Living that has tea tree oil in it. So you could add your own, because you know tea tree oil from Young Living is the best essential oil. Now, so for here we go. We're going to talk a little bit about shampooing your hair really well. So you should soak your hair with hot water to get and you should do this for about a minute. And this allows the scalp to start softening up. It also helps the hair, the grime and the gunk that's in your hair to start rinsing out before you put the shampoo in there. And though you shampoo your hair, soak your hair with hot water, you should rinse your hair with cool water and cold water. It's best for your hair. And also, the amount of shampoo that you use should be no bigger than a quarter in the palm of your hands. Use more than that, it usually damages your hair. It leaves too much residue in your hair, and your hair just doesn't look healthy. And when you shampoo, you should shampoo at the roots. Okay, and you shouldn't use circular motions. You should use up and down motions. And don't use your fingernails, use the tips, the nice soft tips of your fingers to do that up and down motion for your hair. And you should work it from the top to the bottom and around the neck of your neck, the nape of your neck. And be gentle. Don't scratch with those fingernails. It might feel good, but it's not good for your scalp. So be gentle with your scalp. And remember those up and down motions. And just like the hot rinse for your skin, you shouldn't use it for rinsing out your shampoo either. You need to have a cooler temperature for rinsing out your hair. It will help your hair be healthy and shiny. Now, after you shampoo, you should condition your hair. Most people do condition their hairs. But you don't use the conditioner on your whole head. You start from the middle and go down to the roots. To the ends of your hair, not the roots. And then you, again, will rinse this out with cool to cold water. If your hair is damaged from heat or overcoloring, you might want to also try a deep conditioner about once a week in addition to your regular conditioning. So once you've washed your hair, you want to towel dry it very well. And then the best for your hair is to just let it air dry. But for most of us, we don't have hair that makes it go where it wants to go. So we end up styling it by blow drying it or a curling iron or whatever, and that damages our hair. But you have to keep that in consideration when you select your shampoos and your conditioners. So how do you know if you're not getting the shampoos out of your hair? Well, first of all, your hair appears dull and dirty despite it being freshly washed. So you're not getting all the shampoos out. So you need more and more rinsing. It feels as if there's a layer of heavy coating on your hair, or your hair feels very flat to your scalp and just has no volume whatsoever. And your hair becomes difficult to style because it just won't do anything. So that means it has too much shampoo in your hair. So you also want to find if you find that your hair is still greasy after shampoo and rinsing, you constantly see my hair is just still oily or greasy, you may need to shampoo your hair twice when you're in the shower. So in other words, you rinse your hair for a minute, get it soaked, shampoo with a quarter size, rinse with cool water, shampoo with a quarter size, rinse with cool water, use conditioner, rinse with cold water. You're good to go, hopefully. You can try that. It may help you. And just remember, to watch what you're using on your hair. And we'll talk more about what Young Living has to offer next time. But watch what you have. Watch those ingredients. They are very important. And stay away from those harmful chemicals such as that SLS, that's sodium lauryl sulfate, and parabens and other harmful they feel good going on. They'll be so lathery, you'll have a lot of suds, but in the long run, they are not doing anything healthy for your hair. So just know that. They have harsh chemicals in it, and then you get into a vicious cycle that your hair is just not doing what you want it to do. So that's it for today. I'll be back next time with more tips on the shampoos. Bye.